ẹ̀jẹ̀ méjì kì í jàṣà ìkànnì aláyọ̀ rédíò ló ń dún tó tún kilẹ̀ fàlàfàlà má gbé kúrò ń bẹ̀ ó ń dùn mọ́ni nínú.
It's first beat.
Another week, another pleasant week, new strength, new energy, new power, and new energy. Yeah, last week we were here, and this week God have given us the energy to come back again. What are we here to do again this wonderful evening? You know how it goes. You know how we used to do it. Yeah, like I used to say, I said, do not let your previous predicament weigh your present predicament down. A lot of things are going on in our country, in the states, wherever you may be, even in your working place. Many critical things are happening and running rampant in the country, but yet we are still looking for a way to survive. Then I used to say, do not let your previous predicaments weigh your present down. And I can see we are all going, and this evening we are doing well. Last week God gave us the strength, and this week there is more energy for us. Yeah, I'm happy we are back this wonderful week again. As you all know, it's me, Elebute Oluwatoyin Elebute, your radio angel on the show Third Cycle. When we talk about Third Cycle, the episode is a show where we turn everyday's conversation into everyday issues into reconversation. That's what we do here. Last week we talked about flashback. We were flashing backs about the old Nigerian with the new Nigerian, how it goes, what was going on in the times of our older father, forefathers, and what is presently happening in Nigeria. So it was a lovely and interesting episode, I think so. And this fantastic week, I'm coming up again. We are still on flashback on Talk Cycle. We are still on flashback, and what we want to discuss this fantastic and glorious evening, we want to talk about old survival skills of Nigerian that has been forgotten. Do we have any old survival skill? Any old survival skills that our forefathers have been doing that presently now in Nigeria we are no longer used to it? That's what we want to look at this wonderful evening. And I just think this program on Talk Cycle, though we've been running a lot of shows that belongs to you, but I just think this one belongs to the elders. But the youth can also be inclusive, like I used to say. I derived a lot from my grandparents because they do tell me folk tales about the old tradition and how it goes. So this evening, maybe you are youth, grandpa, grandma, just join me so that we run it together. A lot of gist from the olden days in this present and the present Nigeria. That's what we want to do this wonderful evening. Yeah, what are the things of survival that the old Nigerian used to do that presently now in this our own century it has been forgotten that we are no longer used to it? That's what we want to trade. Let me ask you a question that's going to touch everybody's heart, and it's just a simple question as well. This evening, let's go like this on the question. Okay. If there is no electricity, no light, no POS, no internet for 3 days, who can easily survive? Who can easily survive without it? At least, I just think this is an interesting episode that can catch the interest of everyone. But flashback. Back in the olden days, a lot of things were happening that our older father, our older father, they used to survive. Yeah, they survived without all those kind of stuff. But presently, I think that most of us will hardly survive presently now without that thing. So that's what I want to talk about this wonderful evening.
First beat.
Like I said, how many of us can survive without all this internet stuff, no generator, all this kind of stuff? You understand now? There's no battery on your phone. Maybe the battery of your phone is dead already. How many of us? Who can survive without it in this our present century now? I hardly think, I doubt that so many people can survive. But then, have we forgotten that there was a Nigerian before this present Nigerian? Yes, there was the older people that used to survive without that kind of stuff. And yes, they are living peacefully and they are living very well then. But what is going on in this our own turn? Though we can say that technology has arrived, so new level. But then still with just find a unique style, not to forget our old way of survival. Yeah, we can combine it with the new technology system and then everything moves smoothly. You're still listening to Alayo Online Radio TV, the best listening to. And don't forget, I am your radio angel on the show, Tech Cycle. And what we are discussing about, we're talking about flashback. On flashback, what are we trying to pick out? We want to talk about our old Nigerian way of survival and the present one that we are using right now. As I used to say, you know my slang, I do say, tell somebody. Tell somebody that will tell another person and let them know that this is Alayo Online Radio TV and Radio Angel is live and we are discussing something on Talk Side. We just go tell them. Let's join. Let them join. Let both of us, let all of us, let's run the conversation together because I can't do it alone with you. I can do it. And I used to say the comment section is yours. Go there, drop your comments, like, share. That's what we are going to do this evening. Don't let me do it alone. Please. Those of you there, I can see you. You're welcome. Yes, Nigerian food security. Back then, food security was personal. People farmed a big farmland not because they want to post it on Instagram or the social media stuff and so on, but the farm is they do a lot of big farmland because they are pursuing survival. Yeah, they want to survive, they want to achieve something. They don't do it because of social media stuff and the rest. Yeah, in those days, you see small backyard farm. Cassava behind the houses. Some people do plant cassavas They do small, those little garden at the back of the house, at the front of the house. And if you say those days, it used to make the house look beautiful. Maybe you want to go into a compound, then you will see a yam plantation at the front of the house. And you know what used to amaze me then? No, I don't think I was born then, but at least I met the story. I met the storybooks. I met at least the pictures of it. And the thing that used to amaze me about that farm plantation was those heap that they used to heap for the yam. Why if I see it like this, it used to be so lovely to me, especially when I see it behind the house. To me, it used to make the house look very beautiful then. But now, in this our present Nigerian, how many people will love to build a house and just do a little garden at the back of the house or even at the front of the house? No one is ready. Even it is very hard for you to see a house that has bush paths, that have bushes around it now, because everybody is just trying their best to make the house look very beautiful. Everybody is doing one thing or the other. Just back then life was so sweet. Life was so sweet. If you're just hungry, you just have to go into the backyard, dig yam, pluck corn, anything. You see something to eat sharp. But now it's nothing like that. We are all depending on something. We that used to be a creator, that used to provide by ourselves back then, now we are not dependent on producers to produce. That's not fair. It's not making us go well. Why do you guys don't let us add the old way? Let's add it to the new way. Let's run it together. Everything will go smoothly then. Yeah, in those days, little children, we used to know how food usually grows that time, how they usually produce everything. We know how it goes. Then for the little children of that time, in those days that are now turning into a grandpa and grandma now, most of them have already left. Yeah, they have gone out of the world. They have gone to rest in peace. So for those children that time, they know how to produce gari, yam, potato, plantain, and the rest food stuff. But most of the kids today, if you go to many schools, just put it as a debate, especially private school. Just say, how many of you know how to produce gari? Did you eat gari? Did you eat selbo? Cornflake? Do you know how to produce it? And so on. You will see many children will be giving you curious answers. Some will even tell you that it was imported from the outside the country. But back then, children do know how they produce gari. So my greatest surprise, some children presently in this our country right now, they don't know the way they produce gari. And the funniest part is that they are eating it. How can someone not know that gari is made of cassava? You can see that we are lacking behind. Actually, we are lacking behind. Yeah, back then you cannot find any child telling you that, please, how do they do gari? How did they do fufu? How did they do this? How did they do that? No, because back then, fathers used to train the son and mothers train the daughter. Whatever the father knows is going to let her pass it on to the son, and whatever the mother knows, the daughter must surely knows it then. But right now, I don't want my child to do so. No, stop it. You can do that further from there. They don't want the child to do anyhow, especially those rich kiddies. If you go ask them how did I used to make gari, they'll be like, are you in the right sense? How could you ask me such a thing? Me that I go out with car, I come back inside our house, there is AC and so many more. You will just be like, for real. Everybody will just be seven. Now, if I should ask, if food prices rises from one commodity price to another, everywhere will just be seven, because most of us don't even produce. Yes, like I said earlier, most of us don't even produce, but instead we are dependent we became advanced and also depending on producers, like I said earlier. Come to think of it, in Nigeria, we understand all this kind of nature stuff before. Like those are our olden days fathers and grandma. They knew the rainy season, they knew the dry season, and then when it is sunny, they knew it, and when it is harmattan season, they knew it. Even in those days, I think maybe when rain is falling in the afternoon and then sun is still shining, they do say that. What did I used to say? They tell them that fox. Yeah, they just say that fox has given birth, or pussycat has given birth. Those times. But now, if rain is falling in the afternoon and then it is raining at the same time, who is going to believe that a fox in the forest just give birth? That time it was very interesting. Nobody used to get edgy of each other. Everybody is living in peace then. That life was so sweet. It was so sweet.
It's first beat.
Yeah, and in terms of fishing stuff, fishing then didn't need any cold room. And back then, I think all this hunting stuff too, it didn't need any, let's say, social approval then. But back then, knowledge and skills were passed from father, like I said earlier, down to son, and from mother down to daughter. But now we Google everything. Yeah, we Google everything. And when network is bad, we just get paused all of a sudden. And again, we gain knowledge, we gain technology knowledge, but then we lost our practical wisdom while gaining the technology knowledge. Can you see? Yeah, Nigerian then, in our olden days, back then, in those days, people made things on their own. Like I said earlier, we are creative. They do baskets, mats, clothes, broom, many more. We used to do it back then, but right now, no one is ready to do that. Who will just go into the forest to go and cut a palm front, all because of mats or basket? But at least I think we still have some villages around. I think some people are still calling it Abule. What did I say? Those villages around, those small villages around, they are still there. I think they are now making brooms, palm oil from there. But for instance, let's come to think of it, if those villages should now decide that they want to make their village a popular place, a popular city also, and they begin to sell the land and everything, all those trees, and cut everything down, and also want to change it to a big urban city, please, how are we going to remain? Where are we going to get the palm front from? Where are we going to get the palm oil? Where are we going to get our gari and the other food stuff that is bring from the farmers? Where are we going to get it? Like, for real, are we going to import it from other country? Oh, that's the main part of the question. Yeah, and also back in those days, there was no generator. People slept peacefully there. No data, no POS. Yet they talk face to face, and yet the business, the trade still continue perfectly. But today in this our present Nigeria, if light should just go off, life would pause in so many companies, because there are some people in this our present Nigeria that they can't sleep without light. Their business can't move without light. Is it the people that sell cold drink and those other stuff? And we will now say that for good 3 days, let us say that maybe they decide to on generator. Let's say there is no fuel, there is no light, there's no those people that are using solar cell, that there is no way, there is no any excess way that they can use the solar. That's just about 3 days, no light, nothing. Wait, are some people going to survive without it? More with food everywhere. Everybody will just be murmuring, complaining with food everywhere. also network and all these POS. If POS might decline some people, something will happen because business. I don't think the business will move. Everything will just pause. We are still saying the same thing. Including data. Some people that they are social media content creator and all these online vendors. Let's say that there is no data. Okay, let's say there is data, but there is no network. All of a sudden into this Nigeria now, let there not be network. If you check on your phone, instead of seeing MTN or all this stuff, you just see no network. Please, how are we going to cope? Many people will just say, let me go and commit suicide, because that online is where they achieve. That is where they benefit from every day. That's where they do their own daily activities, and that's where they benefit from online, 247 online. Then let's now say that there's no internet. There's no internet. You will explain tire, because many of them will just leave the country, and that's it. So indeed, you can see we are lacking behind in Nigeria. Yeah, we are lacking behind, because back then in the days of our fathers, all those things. I heard our father, my bad. Back then in the days of our older and our olden days fathers, yeah, all this kind of stuff wasn't there, but then they still cooperate, they still live peacefully, and they survive without it. So in this our present, some people might say they will survive without it, but even if you still survive without it, if we are to calculate the people that can survive without those stuff, at least if it is 100%, we want to rate it, it's just gonna be 20% that can survive without it. I bet you, because the remaining 80% will belong to all those things. They are all addicted to it. So let's just say that technologies have taken all our daily activities, and yet it has stolen our old way of surviving in our country. So the big question again is, are we truly advanced, or we are just comfortably dependent? Are we comfortable independent on some people? And if those people are yet to help, how are we going to survive? Like seriously, we have sold our past way of surviving. We have sell it out, and indeed we need to bring it back. We need to bring it back, even if it is not that much how we used to do it back then. At least we just need to bring it back to the country so that we can survive with it again. We can add it to the technology life, like I said earlier, and everything is going to go smoothly, badly, because it is a long story. It is a long story.
It's first beat.
Yeah. Nigerian past was not perfect. It wasn't perfect, rather, and Nigerian present now, the one we are using presently now, is not rather useless, but we need to combine the two. We need to combine the two together to get a better Nigerian, because at least we are the blessed country. I think so. We are the blessed country, and many countries are dying. Let's say all those natural resources and many more. It is more in Nigeria. So I think many countries are dying to belong to us, but yet we have it and we can't make use of it because of what we think maybe we are satisfied with our money and riches, but then we have what we can use in investing more, but then we can't do it. I'm so sorry, we are running out of time this wonderful evening. We have a lot to talk on flashback. I think tomorrow we are still going to be coming up with flashback, still on Talk Cycle. Join me 5 p.m. to 5:30 tomorrow. I still remain your one and only radio angel on Alayo Online Radio TV. Yeah, let's keep the cycling moving. Let's don't stop it. Let's be active and let's be sensitive. Let's do what we're supposed to do to make it flow well in our country. I love you all. Let's pause for today. Let's bring today's to an end over here. Tomorrow, don't forget to join me tomorrow. Still on Talk Cycle Flashback from 5 p.m. to 5:30. Let's sign out, and we are going home this wonderful evening. A big kudos, a big shout out to my producer, B-Sport Basit. So we are going home this wonderful evening. Until tomorrow, stay safe, be at peace. Peace out.